I'd like to show you our hand adapter, and this is a tool that can be used to set grommets. If you do not own the grommet press, you can purchase this hand adapter, and it works very similar, only it's all manual. This cutter is the cutter for these small grommets, and we do not recommend using the hand adapter for any grommet that is a number 6 or larger. This is really only for the smaller grommets, and ideally the press is a good investment because you'll see as I set this it does require a little bit of work, but with the grommet press we would put the cutter into the press in this hole, and you can see the threaded area that goes into the hand adapter, and this is all done manually. We'll put it in there nice and tight. We'll get our cutting block. I'm just going to set this grommet in this little bit of fabric here. We're using the chipboard just to make this a little bit easier. And we'll set that on there. Now you must use a 4-pound sledgehammer, and you have to hammer it fairly square. You want to make sure that you strike it with quite a bit of force. I'm also near the edge of the table. You can see that that went right through. We'll make another hole, so in case I want to set another one. So when you're working on your project, you would want to go through and you would want to make all the holes. And when you're finished, you would unscrew this. And if you invest in the hand adapter, it's not a very expensive tool, but when you get it, it'll be a nice tool to have in the interim until you invest in the press. You can just use a pin to knock those pieces of fabric and the chipboard out of there. And again, I highly recommend using the chipboard. For the larger grommets, you may want to do this on the floor. And then we'll set this aside and we'll go ahead and put the setter on. With our grommet press, this setter would sit in here, and then the top portion of the setter would go into the tool, and that would press together and snap the grommet in place. I want to point out that the washer on this is slightly raised, and on the number 12 grommet, this was installed in the grommet this way so that the little teeth were down, but on this smaller grommet it actually goes the other way. So we'll go ahead and we'll put this in. We'll do one at a time. Now we want to make sure that we have our setter plate, and this comes with the hand adapter. We'll put that down. This portion will snap right in there, and we'll go ahead and we'll screw this on. Same principle as the grommet press, except we're doing it all by hand. So that will fit on there. Again, that grommet sits right in there. Okay, we're putting the rounded side up. That setter is screwed on nice and tight. And we're going to strike it the same way that we did with the cutter. You want to make sure that you don't over crimp this. I'll check it and make sure that it looks good. If you get any marring on there, it may be that you've set it too tight. I'll go ahead and set one more. It's fairly easy when the grommets are small. So if you don't want to invest in the big press, this is an alternative, but after a while your hands do get a little tired. And there you have it. So you want to make sure you always test on a scrap before you use these on your customer's project. Looks pretty nice. That's our hand adapter with the small grommets.